Hello, I am Donny, and I am the cute one.
And I'm Chelsea, and I am the cute one.
And guess what? It's Friday.
TGIF, cuties.
TGIF, indeed. Chelsea, I didn't even tell you. I forgot until right now, but something about this made me remember. This week, today, when we're recording, the thief, you know who, he who must not be mentioned, came to O'Mary again. And the way he looked at me, it's like the way a dog looks at you if they shit on the carpet. He knows what he does.
Except in this case, the dog is making thousands of dollars, presumably a month, off of the content that we give you all for free. I want to say right at the top of the episode, thank you, cuties, for being wonderful. You are chaotic and humanitarians, because Donny and I were very nervous about our announcement that we did on Monday that we're going to be taking 4 weeks off from movies. In our minds, I think that us saying we were taking 4 weeks off from movies was like we were going AWOL from the military. We're still doing TGIFs, we're still doing Patreon recordings, we're still guesting on other podcasts, but it really felt big, and the cuties have been nothing but supportive. It's been very lovely.
Yes, the cuties who have listened to that 5-minute intro in the beginning were very supportive of our break. And the cuties who didn't listen to that intro in the beginning were very supportive of the apartment fire I had, which was last year. But if you just heard about it now for the first time, I'm great. I'm doing fine.
You survived. Everybody made it. No Jack Pearson here.
Not at all. And I also want to thank the cuties because as we record today, I am still on my piece of shit computer that's hanging on by one little hinge. But tomorrow at noon, I'm going to the Apple store to pick up my MacBook Pro. So cuties, you did it. Thank you so much.
We did it, Joe.
I do need more help. Not financially this time. However, I have never used an Apple computer in my life. So to choose a MacBook to be the computer that I operate 80% of my income from was a little bit of a gamble. I don't know how to edit on it. I don't know how to use a Word doc on it. I don't know how to do anything on it. So cuties, tell me what apps I need. Tell me what programs I need. Do I need GarageBand for anything? I've always heard about that on an Apple computer. I feel like I should.
Maybe this is just the octogenarian in me, because we know that I am not up to snuff with my technology, but the way that you speak about MacBooks is like you are going to be flying a spaceship. Like, it's a computer. Yes, you do have to get used to the left click, right click, and lack thereof. But like, it's a computer. It's not like you need special programs to be doing shit.
No, you do. There are so many different programs.
Your example was, I don't know how to use Microsoft Word. You don't know how to type? They don't have it. What do you use to type?
No, on an Apple computer, I don't know. There's no such thing as Microsoft.
Donny, I have a MacBook.
With Microsoft Word?
Yes, what do you think I do my outline in every single week?
I needed a screen cap for me. It's not called that, I can promise you.
Donny, I am looking at my Microsoft Word document that I have my TGIF outline on. Should I share my screen? So here is my Microsoft Word that I use every week. See? Isn't that amazing? Remarkable.
But cuties, I still want your recommendations because I don't fully believe what Chelsea just said.
You just saw it with your own eyes. What is wrong with you?
I went away for the weekend to Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, where I visited some friends from college. I had a wonderful time. I was supposed to go in their pool from Friday to Sunday, but it rained on Friday. So instead, we went to an escape room. It was 90s theme. It was so cool. And then it was connected to a 90s brewery. Also cool. You probably saw the video I made there because once I have red lockers, I can't not make a Saved by the Bell video. So saw the red lockers, made the Saved by the Bell say nope to dub video, and the rest was history there. Now I do want to talk about on Saturday when we weren't in the pool, I said, I want to treat you all to ice cream. So I took them to a local little ice cream creamery or whatever it's called. And we each got our cones, had a wonderful time. I got monster cookie flavor. Do you know what that is?
No.
It is chocolate chip cookie dough and cookies and cream mixed together. Top tier. But then, because it's Cookie Monster, it's dyed like blue, like blue. So my poop was green for 3 days.
I'm so relieved to hear that your poop was green, though, because for those that didn't listen last week, Donny and I had the stomach bug, which meant we had the shits. And I'm trying to avoid the poop talk, but here we are.
You know what you get on this
You were
show.
having Pepto-Bismol like all day, every day. Do you know about the effects of Pepto-Bismol if you have too much and you don't have enough water?
Turns to black as coal.
Black as coal poop. But have you ever gotten the hairy black tongue? Don't Google it. Don't Google it. If you drink Pepto-Bismol, like the little shots of the pink stuff, and you don't have enough water, apparently your tongue turns black and turns hairy as a werewolf.
For life.
I don't think for life. I think it falls off much like a newborn baby's hair. It does like molt or whatever.
In your mouth. Hair
Probably.
falls off in your mouth.
Yeah, so just make sure you're hydrating the next time you have that Pepto-Bismol.
But I will say it was green, which saved my life, because by the pool, my friend had a white lounge chair, and right where I was sitting, right under my butt, was a brown stain. It could have been mud. It could have been chocolate from a cookie. My first guess was poop. So I did get off the chair and sniff it. And it wasn't... It wasn't poop. But then, as you know, with my snoring, if there's something that I am self-conscious about, I talk it into the ground. Because I'm like, if I can make people sick of this topic, by the time I actually do snore, they won't even care. Or by the time they actually do find out I pooped on their furniture, they'll be so over it. So I like talked about it all night. I hope this is not poop. I hope this is not poop. I hope this is not poop. And then I had to go to the bathroom, so I went upstairs and pooped. And I was like, oh yeah, it's green. I forgot. I'm safe. It is not my poop downstairs.
Thank God.
When we went swimming, the kids would not let me just swim. Maybe it's the Olympics. Maybe it's because this is a new pool to them. But they really wanted to do a routine with me, like a dance routine in the pool. So we did do a synchronized swimming routine. But Chelsea, we did it. And this is my idea. Harry Potter themed.
Whoa. Weird. How? Tell me more.
So we started out of the pool, and then we walked in a circle. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun.
dun.
Yeah. And then as that little intro ended, we used fake wands, and that's when we jumped in the pool at the same time. Then those two swam to me, stood on my knees, put their arms up like this, and then I put them on my shoulders and said, "Abracadabra," and flipped them over into the pool. Then the water brought them back to life. They killed me, pushed me under, and that's when those two had a routine by themselves.
Talk about storytelling, Donny.
Thank you.
Abby Lee Miller, who?
Eat your heart out, you. I can't. Every word I wanted to use was just.
I
meaner
went
than the
there
rest.
with you. Yep.
Crippled fat bitch is what I was going to say. But I found a Harry Potter trap mix that we did it to. So it had like a beat to it, which was really cool. And we decided next summer when I come to visit, we're going to do the same routine, except we're going to start with robes.
I love that.
Thank you.
Wow. And if you wear a swimming cap, you'll look like Voldemort.
Well, now they don't wear swimming caps anymore. They put gelatin in their hair. And you can watch ASMR on TikTok where they...
So they look like Ken Barbie dolls?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that one bit.
Now, the last thing I have to talk about this Pennsylvania trip is we went to the farmer's market on Saturday morning to get some things for our fiesta that evening. And the friend I was staying with got some, red onions, got some cantaloupe, and then we passed the meat section, and I saw ring bologna. And I said, I cannot leave this farmer's market without ring bologna. So we did get some. I love a Pennsylvania meat.
What is ring bologna?
It is shaped like this, and then you just cut it into slices and eat it with crackers and cheese.
Is it like liverwurst? I love liverwurst.
A different taste. Let's go to see what Wikipedia says. Ring bologna is... Well, there's no Wikipedia page for it. It's really
Hard to believe. Hard to believe that the people at Wikipedia haven't taken the time to write down their thoughts on ring bologna.
Ring bologna is a fully cooked, cured sausage that originated in Pennsylvania Dutch country and is named for its ring-shaped casing. It's a descendant of German ringwurst, but evolved independently in the United States. Ring bologna is smaller in diameter than traditional deli bologna and is packed into casings that are formed into loops.
Can you just show me a picture?
Oh, sure.
I don't need the family tree of the ring bologna. I just want to know if I've had it before.
It is so good.
So while you were deep-throating ring bologna over in Pennsylvania, I was in Newport News, Virginia, birthplace of one Allen Iverson.
The place is called Newport News.
You just gave us the Wikipedia page for ring bologna. You don't have any room to talk about anything.
I'm going to find out why this place is called Newport News.
So I was hanging out with my friend, but the thing about my friend is that all of her friends listen to the show, which is super sweet. Every person I met was like, oh my God, that's so funny to hear your voice because I listen to you in my ear holes every week. So
hi,
first
guys.
of all, hi. Shout out to Danny, Britt, and Cliff. Also go to Bird Girl Bottle Shop if you're ever in Newport News, Virginia. But I realized, so we talked about being recognized. And this was different because I wasn't recognized because it was like friends. So it wasn't like a cutie that listens that I had no tangential relationship to because my friend was introducing me to her friends, etc. But I realized it's a lot of pressure. I felt like I wasn't like living up to the hype. I felt like, oh, I'm not giving the people what they're expecting because I am boring.
You think you're more boring in person?
I feel like I'm unhinged. Like it comes off as like manic pixie dream girl behind a microphone, but in person I feel like it's sometimes troubling.
Well, let me tell you something about a manic pixie dream girl. They're troubling. You might think you're quirky, but everyone that looks at you thinks you're
unwell.
Crazy. You may remember Natalie Portman in
Garden State, our re-release from Monday, actually.
Oh, yeah. No one looked at her and said, oh, quirky.
They looked at her and said, uh-oh.
Do you have anything else to say in this sentence?
No, go ahead. Tell us about Newport News.
Okay, there's many different theories, Chelsea. Under the first theory, the community was named for Newport's good news. Another possibility is that the community may have derived its name from an Old English word, news, meaning new town. And at least one source claims that the new arose from the original settlement being rebuilt after a fire. Another source gave the original name as Newport News, named for a person with the name News, and the town's place as a new seaport. The namesake, Sir William Noose, was an English soldier and originally settled in where? Ireland.
You are so weird. Like, you don't listen to me when I talk, but yet I know that you are legitimately fascinated by how Newport News, Virginia got its namesake. You might Google it more later tonight. This might become your new Abraham Lincoln. Speaking of troubled, I'm troubled by you.
Well, here's the thing, Chelsea. You may recall, I Googled recently, am I gay or autistic?
Well, can I give you a spoiler? You don't have to pick just one, Donny. So this week brought us the trailer for season 4 of Only Murders in the Building, Obama's favorites list, a new Bachelor, and a new Golden Bachelorette, the end of the Olympics with the Tom Cruise cameo, and more. It ends with us cast drama. Now, I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about the astronauts that are stuck in space.
Like Sandra Bullock?
Well, no, they're not like tumbling through the ethers of endless space. But Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams
What a name.
Well, they're two people, and they are two astronauts now stranded aboard the International Space Station, the ISS for short. Now, the plan was for a brisk and breezy mission. They were going to test fly Boeing's brand new Starliner spacecraft, which isn't the Boeing thing like all the airplanes that are exploding?
Yeah.
Curious. But so they were going to go and test it and then be up there for a short 8-day cruise. And both astronauts have been aboard the space station before. This wasn't new for them. They both enjoyed the months that they spent there. However, when they got off the ground on June 5th, they didn't even make it to the station before they started experiencing other problems, namely failures in their thrusters and later leaks in the gaseous helium. I'm no space person, but that sounds bad.
It also sounds like why I didn't have sex for 6 months before I went to the doctor. Leaks in the gashers and a broken thruster.
Their 8-day stay, which was supposed to end on June 13th, has now stretched to more than 2 months as Boeing and NASA troubleshoot thruster problems. So now they're basically stuck there, and their short stay might not be over until February, which is now stretching the 8-day mission to an 8-month one.
Do they have enough Dippin' Dots to eat?
So they are still getting all of their supplies.
How?
Little shuttles that bring all the supplies, because there are other people living on the space station. That's the thing. The space station is only equipped with 6 sleep chambers, which are basically like little like telephone booths that they like buckle themselves to the walls to sleep in, like little space vampires. But there's more people than that. All of the phone booths are taken for the vampires to sleep at night, and Butch has to basically camp in a sleeping bag in the Japanese Space Agency's Kibo module, which God knows what that is, but it doesn't sound good.
None of this does.
Also, could you imagine you're living on the space station and this is the equivalent of your friend being like, oh yeah, I'm having my friends in town for the weekend, but then they just never leave?
Where's Sookie staying?
In one of the little phone booths.
They can't even take turns? That's fucked up.
But also, speaking of Big Brother, can we get a live feed?
Please.
Also, I didn't realize this, but astronauts don't do laundry in space. So instead, they just dispose of their clothes and change into new ones periodically.
Wait, dispose of their clothes how? Throw it into the sky?
Well, no. Again, there's like shuttles that are bringing shit and then taking away trash. Yeah, they're littering. Although that would be very human of us to be like, we've already destroyed our planet. Now let's just create a landfill on the moon. Who cares? But so they only brought enough fresh clothes for their 8-day stay. So thank God the Cygnus vehicle arrived at the station carrying 8,200 pounds of hardware, fresh food like fruits and vegetables, and fresh clothes. So they're not stinky up there.
Well, that's good, because I thought they just got to piss themselves for 8 months straight.
Well, they don't piss themselves. They piss in the air and it floats all around in little droplets.
What movie's that in?
In real life, Donnie.
I know, but I know you saw it in a movie, I'm sure.
No, I've been watching space videos. Who do you think I am? Have you ever seen an astronaut brush his teeth in space? That's fucking crazy.
No, I only saw them eat Dippin' Dots. That's how I knew they did that.
I don't think Dippin' Dots, I know it's supposed to be the ice cream of the future. Whose future? Because they've been saying that for years. Yeah, sure, time is a circle, but like, at what point are we going to be like, wow, we're here, we've made it. Are we the future?
Well, how would you want ice cream of the future to be?
Delicious. Why in the future are we assuming that food is going to be 60% worse?
Because we're on the moon.
Why can't we have normal ice cream on the moon?
Because that's what astronauts eat.
If we can get to the moon, certainly we have the technology to enjoy a delicious cone.
If I designed ice cream in the future, each tooth would be a soft serve machine, and you could just touch it with your tongue, and then it would fill you up. Like right now, rum raisin. Then if I move to this canine, Cookie Monster.
But we'd have to figure out the green poop, because we're in the future.
Oh, true. But not really, because no one needs to know. You just throw it in the sky and keep it moving.
What did you bring us this week, Donnie?
I brought us information about the D23 Expo, which is Disney's yearly expo where they talk about what is coming. So I'm just going to list a bunch of things. If any of them speak to you, if you're excited about any, great. If not, this is just educational and we can move on.
Should I clap like I'm in the Wendy Williams audience? Like, woo!
So first, trailers. They showed us trailers for Mufasa, which is the live-action Lion King prequel, Snow White, which looks terrible, Wizards of Waverly Place sequel, and Agatha All Along, the WandaVision spinoff. Then they announced that we'll be getting Incredibles 3, Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, and Toy Story 5.
Are you creaming your pants for Zootopia 2?
We'll have to see. That one better be a stripper, and you know which one I mean. That tiger that reads on the train. That better been his day job, but then he lost it from the events of Zootopia 1, so when we meet him again, he's on OnlyFans.
You haven't thought about that at all.
Toy Story 5 is about, well, there's only one picture that's been released, so we don't know what it's about. But in it, all the toys are lined up at the edge of the bed, sad, looking at Molly, as she's under the covers watching an iPad. How heartbreaking.
That's dark.
It
Bleak.
is.
I was about to talk shit, like to quote Sutton from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's time to let the mouse go. Certainly we don't need another Toy Story, but they keep churning out the content, and by George, I'll be there in theaters.
You know I will. Where else I'll be is these places. Because not only did they announce movies and TV shows, they announced new things that are coming to the parks, such as Cars Land won't be there.
Yeah, well, you don't have a license.
Plus, I've never watched any Cars movie. Have you?
They're cute, yeah. I've watched every Disney and Pixar movie. Are you kidding? It is a daily fight for my life to not have to watch Gabby's Dollhouse, Super Kitties.
Okay, first of all, I bet I can find 2 you haven't seen. Challenge accepted. Number 2, I have no interest in Cars. They all look white trash to me. Like, isn't one a bucktooth guy with like, yeehaw, with a thing on his head that holds cars?
Yeah, well, Lightning McQueen makes his way to a small town and realizes,
That's it.
well, you are your very own Lightning McQueen because you came into the small town judging
He's hot.
everyone.
He's the only hot one in the movie.
And then he learned the small town people, they've got it going on.
But who wrote that movie? Bob Iger with $1 billion. Easy for him to say. He's not going to those small towns. He's just teaching people to do that so you can populate the small towns and he can stay at the top of Cinderella's castle.
Wow, look at you, an anti-capitalist king.
No, I'm just going to take over and live where he lives.
Oh, I forgot. Your big plan is to keep all of the working class down and just make your way to the top.
Also coming to the parks are Monsters Inc. Land, Villains Land, which I can't wait for.
Right at home there.
You too. And then a Coco and Encanto ride.
What are they doing for Coco? Are we going to the underworld?
I'll leave you there if so.
I'll fucking haunt you.
I never saw that movie.
Oh, Donny, you're not mentally well enough to watch it right now, but at a later time, I think you would love it.
Oh.
It's about death.
Right. Too many skeletons walking around in the trailer. I had no interest.
Not hot enough, Donny said.
Nobody had noses for me to fuck. Just all indents.
You do love a big nose.
Encanto, every man in Encanto is just a walking seat.
You said, we don't talk about Bruno?
That's because he can't open his mouth. Cause
Don't ask, don't tell. More like it.
Jesus.
Okay.
That's it. That's the D23 Expo.
Great. I think we did Disney proud. I wonder if they'll sponsor us after that glowing review. It's time for the cutie of the week. And I would like to go first because I talked about this at length over on our Patreon. But my cutie of the week is the WWE. For whatever reason, every algorithm on every app I'm on needs me to love like vintage WWE wrestling. And may I just say, to quote George W. Bush, mission accomplished. Because I am down those rabbit holes. I am watching all of the fights, which is ironic because I myself have been scrapping out there. If you saw a 5-year-old appearing to have an exorcism in Target this week, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Maybe if you punted her, she would have learned the lesson.
I feel like after watching some of these videos, I feel like it needs to be mandated that any person today that complains about current reality TV calling for people to be canceled, people saying that Angela on Big Brother is like the worst thing that they've ever seen on TV, I feel like they need to sit down and just watch 30 seconds of WWE footage from the 90s because that is some rotted shit right there.
But also, gay awakenings.
Yeah, my only experience with WWE is one single time I watched Raw. I went over to my white trash, and I say that lovingly, game recognized gang, but my white trash friend's apartment my freshman year. She was a sophomore, so she had an apartment, and she rolled us joints with computer paper, and we smoked them and watched WWE SmackDown, I believe. And I really felt like I was immersing myself in the culture.
Yeah. Like when I used to watch Nip Tuck and eat corn dogs at the same time.
Yeah, you know, just part of the experience. So I am once again asking everybody to please continue to send me storylines that I need to Google and YouTube. And I want to give a special shout out to Tishboo Kitty over on Instagram. I spent all day looking at the videos that they sent me and I love it.
Huh. Do I look like The Rock when I do this?
No, you look like you're about to shart on your friend's pool chair again.
Do you smell like that?
What the Rock's cooking?
Yeah.
I know it now. Why did The Rock talk about himself in the third person? Again, I don't think that's hot. It gives me Elmo energy.
Well, it's hot when The Rock does it, I think. And I'm wearing a wrestling shirt. Cuties, I don't know if you knew that I am a WWE fan. Not anymore, but as a child I was. Bret the Hitman Hart was my gay awakening.
Love that for you.
Thank you. His brother died in real life during a wrestling match. You could probably watch a video of that.
I did. I watched it.
You did? Owen Hart?
Yes,
Death?
and then they kept going. I didn't know that that was his brother. They did the whole rest of the thing. And then the poor guy that talks out of the side of his mouth and announces everything with the cowboy hat, he got 9 seconds. They said he died, and you're on in 10, 9, 8. So then he talks about, to this day, it's like one of his biggest regrets of how he talked about, like, I've just learned that Owen Hart has died, but it's because he had literally 9 seconds to process that information, and then he was live on television. Oh, and let me just say, disclaimer, Vince McMahon is a fucking horrible person for that, among many other reasons. But isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. I had no idea. This is what the one I liked looked like. Yeah, that's what little 8-year-old Donny was putting his dick into.
With that Vaseline bag. Okay. So besides that man with the nipple in the center of his chest, who's your cutie of the week?
Well, my cutie of the week is the winner. Because what have those other bitches been doing with their lives? Nothing. And they'll continue to do nothing. But my kitty of the week is Alyssa Milano, who from September 16th to November 18th will be starring as Roxy Hart in Chicago on Broadway. I have never been more excited for anything in my entire life. And I did receive DMs that said, oh, I can't wait to hate on her. Hate on what exactly? Because she had, not anymore, but she did have at one point the #1 album in Japan.
Well, the name on everybody's lips is gonna be
Phoebe. I cannot wait. I will be there probably more than once. Probably more than twice. Power of 3 will set me free. I will see it 3 times.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank you. I had to double check. My friend sent it to me this morning, the news, and I had to double check before I got excited. I thought it was a trick.
You thought it was those old bitches on Facebook photoshopping once again.
Well, here's the thing. I lied to this friend a few months ago and went on Canva and made a fake headline and tricked her. So then I was afraid this was revenge. But it wasn't. It was God.
Well, it is hard because when you are actively sabotaging the lives around you for quite literally no reason, it is easy to get paranoid that maybe karma's coming back at you.
Well, not no reason. It was fun.
Well, on that note, here we are again, cuties, hanging on by a thread, but living the Vita Loca.
48 minutes later, here's our half-hour recording for you.
Just a reminder that the full version is over on Patreon, patreon.com/IamTheCuteOne.
Yeah, I may have a new computer, but we'll always take more money. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for going to YouTube and liking, subscribing, commenting. Thank you for going to Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rating and reviewing. And thank you for going to Patreon and giving us money.
And thank you for still listening to us, even when we're babbling idiots. Upwards of 3 times a week.
Oh, bless you all.
L'chaim.
And we'll talk to you later. Love you like a sister. Bye.
Bye.